tropical rainforest. Now in the tropical rainforest there are 5 different layers of plants. So the topmost, these are outstanding height trees. Then the 4th layer, these are trees which crowns meet to form a large canopy. The 3rd layer is a bit lower, and then there are smaller trees. And then the 2nd layer, that are shrubs. There are woody shrubs and herbaceous shrubs. They are 2 to 5 meters high. The 4th layer with the trees, the canopy, are 40 meters high. And then the lowest layer, the 1st layer, that is around half a meter high. There are tree seedlings and non-woody shrubs. And there's almost no sunlight reaching the ground. And it rains 4 meters per year around. There are some curiosities. There are flowers growing directly out of the trunk or the branches. And there are also trees which form buttresses with their roots, so they stand in the ground. And there are lianes. They are basically hanging between all these layers. And epiphytes. Epiphytes, they are growing on seeds, on humus, which is lying in cracks of other trees. There are fig trees. There are fig stranglers. And they are growing on another tree. They are going down with the roots then. And when the tree in the middle dies, and just the roots of a new fig strangler keep standing. And now there's another thing with the soil. It was thought that it was like a forest living on a good soil, but the tropical rainforest lives on its own dead remains. So new trees are growing on the dead remains of other trees. There are different types of trees. There are mahogany and greenwood and ironwood and greenheart, rosewood and ironwood and greenheart and teaks and also other one. Now and it is very many different trees out there. They are on a very small place, just an acre, are 50 different trees, and it is very seldom that there's a tree with the same type of another one, a tree which has another one of its own type standing in its vicinity. And there is the tropical rainforest now. It is in Southern America. Now again, Southern America, where the place. There in Brazil a lot at the Amazon River, also in up to Ecuador, and also here at Uruguay, a bit down at Uruguay there, maybe a bit in the north of Paraguay and Bolivia, and in Ecuador there, and in Central America, in Panama and Costa Rica, and in Honduras, Nicaragua, and then in Africa also a bit here at Ghana and the Central African Republic, there are more also, a bit then in Kenya, in Mozambique, and on Madagascar, in the western part of India, and also in the southern part of China, Korea, and then Indonesia and northern Australia also. And where is it? And that is according to Book 3, Part 22, Regions of the Earth, Reader's Digest Library of Modern Knowledge, written by Hugh Clayton, John Cole, Michael Frenchman, and D.H. Sinclair on the page 1084 and 1085. If you click this video away, then please tell me what the reason was so that I can improve. Otherwise, hi, welcome. I'm trying to learn climatology or climatology today. Tropical rainforest, and after we've done with ice cap, and after we've done with, we're going to do martial arts basics training. And if you participate in the martial arts basics training, then it's already asked. Now, what did we hear about the tropical rainforest? There are 4 meters of rainfall per year, and almost no sunlight reaches the ground. There are 5 layers of vegetation. The topmost layer that are high outstanding trees. The 4th layer are canopy of trees where all the crowns meet of high trees, 40 meters high. Then the 3rd layer with smaller trees in the middle. And then the 2nd layer with herbaceous bushes, whatever it was, and woody bushes, 2 to 5 meters high. And then the last one, the 1st layer, the ground layer, basically half a meter high, and there are little tree seedlings and non-woody bushes with herbaceous shrubs. And the next thing, there are no seasons, but there are seasonal rhythms of plants. Some are flowering multiple times per year, others only every 40 years. Now this is the 2nd time that we're doing it, or 3rd time that we're doing it, and we already did the presentation to it, so I'm just repeating it fastly. And there are some flowers which are growing straight out of the trunk and the branches. There are lianes and there are epiphytes. The lianes, they are basically hanging around the trees and connecting basically the 5 different layers of a forest. And the epiphanies, they are growing out of seeds which are lying on the other trees. Was it there? Epiphytes grow on taller plants and feed on the humus lodged in cracks on them. Epiphytes will run on the cracks with humus. Epiphytes. There, when we think of, there's, for example, the strangler fig. It grows in another tree with its root down, and when the tree in the middle dies, and only the roots keep staying. And when we think of soil, but first nothing. And when there are many different plant trees, there are oftentimes 50 different species just on a very small place, and very seldom is the same tree standing next to the other one. And the soil, it was believed that there was a soil on which all the trees are growing, but it is actually the case that they're all living on their own decomposed things, so the forest lives of itself. The tropical rainforest exists on its own dead remains. There are different types of woods. There are rosebuds, ironwoods, greenhearts, mahogany, and teak and bazaar. Also, mahogany, rosewood, ironwood, greenheart, teak and bazaar. And it was in South America. It was a little stripped down to Uruguay. Okay, then in Central America, and then a little in Western Africa, and also in Kenya, and down Mozambique, it must be Zambia, and then Madagascar, Western Asia, south of China only, Korea, Indonesia, basically whole Oceania, Australia. I'll just start the camera and try to say it. Tropical rainforest. Now, in the tropical rainforest, there are 5 different layers of plants. So the topmost, these are outstanding height trees. Then the 4th layer, these are trees which crowns meet to form a large canopy. The 3rd layer is a bit lower, and then there are smaller trees. And then the 2nd layer, that are shrubs. There are woody shrubs and the herbaceous shrubs. They are 2 to 5 meters high. The 4th layer with the trees, the canopy, are 40 meters high. And then the lowest layer, the 1st layer, that is around ½ a meter high. There are tree seedlings and non-woody shrubs. And there's almost no sunlight reaching the ground, and it rains 4 meters per year around. There are some curiosities. There are flowers growing directly out of the trunk or the branches, and there are also trees which form buttresses with their roots, so they stand in the ground. And there are lianes. They are basically hanging between all these layers, and epiphytes. Epiphytes, they are growing on seeds, on humus which is lying in cracks of other trees. There are fig trees. They are fig stranglers, and they are growing on another tree. They are going down with the roots then, and when the tree in the middle dies, and just the roots of a new fig strangler keep standing. And now there's another thing with the soil. It was thought that it was like a forest living on a good soil, but the tropical rainforest lives on its own dead remains. So the new trees are growing on the dead remains of other trees. Different types of trees. There are mahogany and greenwood and ironwood and greenheart, rosewood and ironwood and greenheart, and teaks and also other one. Now and it is very many different trees are there. They are on a very small place, just an acre, are 50 different trees, and it is very seldom that there's a tree with the same type of another a tree which has another one of its own type standing in its vicinity. And there is the tropical rainforest now. It is in South America. Now again, South America, where it is, where the place, there in Brazil a lot, as the Amazon River, also in up to Ecuador, and also here at Uruguay, a bit down at Uruguay there, maybe a bit in the north of Paraguay and Bolivia, and in Ecuador there, and in Central America, in Panama and Costa Rica and in Honduras, Nicaragua, and then in Africa also a bit here at Ghana and the Central African Republic, there are more also, a bit in Kenya, in Mozambique, and on Madagascar. in the western part of India, and also in the southern part of China, Korea, and in Indonesia and northern Australia also. And where is it? And that is according to Book 3, Part 22, Regions of the Earth, Reader's Digest Library of Modern Knowledge, written by Hugh Clayton, John Cole, Michael Frenchman, and D.H. Sinclair on the page 1084 and 1085. Once to the camera. And actually don't have time, but let's read it once about the ice cap. Now we did it all in the previous part. I just wanted to do the presentation again because I forgot the one, two important things. I hope I said them now. Let's not look again if I forgot something. So the ice caps. The greatest sheet of ice that covers more than 90% of Antarctica extends over 12.5 million square kilometers and is more than 3,000 meters. Okay, let's do it again. Ice cap. The great sheet of ice that covers more than 90% of Antarctica extends over 12 million square kilometers and is more than 3,000 meters thick in the center. Okay, we are trying to the ice cap. Okay, Antarctica, that is here. We're down at the south part on the map. Antarctica. In Antarctica, there are 12 million square kilometers covered with 3 kilometer high ice. The book's from 70s. Covered with 3 kilometers ice. Okay, that's the first thing. The ice moves outwards from the pole. Why is it even so? When it reaches the ocean, it floats to form an ice shelf, which eventually breaks up into icebergs in the summer after the pack ice, which is the sea ice, has melted. I never knew how to express it. No, I never know what now pack ice is. Do they say that the sea ice, the pack ice is the ice which is on top of the water, even if it's still part of a bigger glacier above the ice shelf, but it's on the water? And the next thing is in future, these may provide fresh water for desert countries such as Saudi Arabia. Well, the book is from the 70s. There's an idea to use it also as drink water. Maybe the people there on the scientific stations use it as drink water would make sense. After they've cleared it. Consult your doctor before you do anything. You should not eat snow or ice. That can be harmful. Around the edge of the southern continent, mountain ranges protrude through the ice. There are mountains at some parts of Antarctica. Glacier-like tons of ice descend between the frost-shattered peaks, where only lesions and mosses can survive. We don't have time to explain it, but okay. There are 12 million square kilometers of ice, 3 kilometers high. It grows from the center of the pole then to the outside, and when at the outside pack ice, it protrudes into the ocean. When something breaks off, a big thing, they are very, very big as small countries. So really big, you can't see the end of these ice packs, whatever. And they are then drifting into the ocean, getting smaller than into ice packs. But they are really, really big, these packs which are break off there. There's an idea to maybe use them to make drinking water of them after having done it professionally, probably. And then at some place there's a mountain range, at least one is there. And between the peaks of these mountains, in these valleys, there are glaciers. And there are only growing lichens and mosses, so very small plants, which are growing with stones and so on. The northern hemisphere's sole large ice cap covers about 80% of Greenland, and is less than 40% of the size of Antarctica's cap. So Greenland has just a tenth of the size of Antarctica, and that covers 80% of Greenland. Greenland is 80% covered with another ice cap, but there's only 10% as much as in Antarctica. So these are the informations to ice caps. In the next part, we're going to come back to ice caps and maybe something new. If you were here for it is climatology. If you were here for climatology, you can go directly to the next part of climatology. Where we're going to do the ice caps. If you stay here and participate in the HIP training, no, in the martial arts basics training, then this will be the obvious. One leg up and pull it up. The other one. Take the leg at the ankle. Straight back, knee down to the ground. And one leg to the side, the toes are pointing in front and stitching the inner side of the leg. And over the other side. And momentous, go from side to side. And now a few lunges in front of the right leg and back, and left leg in front and back. Right leg, back, and left leg, and back. And now one knee up and back. 1, 2, 3 steps, knee up and back. 1, 2, 3, up and back. The shovel snowplow exercise. Last two. And now stretch kicks. Hand out, kick against it. 1, 2, 3. Hand out, kick against it. And the last one. And now the frog. Knee up and back. Up and back. And now crescent kicks. Leg up and back. Up and in. Up and back. Up and in. And now squat kicks. I'm going to kick them close to the camera. So right foot in front and kick with the left one. And again. Left foot in front and kick. And again. Right foot in front and kick. And left foot in front. Squat, lunge down and kick. Squat and kick. Squat down and kick. Squat and kick. You can do wider squats. And now squat and squat. A hiking frog. Squat. That's a 2 more. And now 12 push-ups on the ground. Hands underneath the shoulders, straight back, tuck the tailbone in, down, elbows close to the ribcage, and up the first one. Second one. And now number 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, 11, and the last one, number 12. Up again, Vahika sit-up stretch, heel onto the ground, pull the toes in, foot to the left, pull the toes in, to the right, pull in, middle, move leg from left to right. After one, pull the toes in, foot to the right, pull the toes in, to the left, pull in, middle, move leg to right, left to right. One leg up, another one, take the leg at the ankle, another one, legs to the side, breathing along, and out. One more round, out, breathing across the legs, breathing it out. That was the martial arts basics training. Thank you very much, and